Hey, good morning and happy Forgiveness Friday and happy April Fool's Day. I have to say that before I get into the motivational message that I was had by my staff, I'm going to get you guys back, but it was probably the best prank they could have played on me today, given we had some minor roof damage and they text saying that there was a leak at the office. So I'm in a panic thinking, oh man, here we go again. I got to call the contractors in and those jokers were messing with me. So I'm gonna get you back. You just wait. And April Fool's Day is not the only day that pranks can be done. So if you watch this video, watch your back, okay? But happy Forgiveness Friday, folks. I am so delighted to share this idea with you today because it's been coming up quite a bit with some of the other posts that I've made. And it's so funny because it seems like once I make a post and I've got an idea of what I want to share for the video on Friday, it seems like it becomes a recurring theme with the comments and the conversations that I have with people that direct message me or that text me and often that call me. So I wanted to talk today about why you've not met that person that meets your expectations. Why have you not met the person that truly meets your expectations? So let's start off first by, talking about, have you ever been in that situation where you really thought that you had the perfect person? Whether it's a guy or female that wow, they were just they hit almost every category that you have as a requirement for relationship. But for some reason, they still fall short. They still do not meet your expectations. And or imagine you're on the other side. Imagine that you're in relationship with someone and no matter what you do, no matter who you are, no matter how you treat them, no matter what you bring to the table, for whatever reason, they're just not satisfied. They're not happy. That is a very, very difficult place to be in. So today, briefly, I want to share with you what I believe is the bigger issue with why we're not able to find those that meet our expectations. I mentioned it, I believe it was on Good Friday, I'm sorry, it was week before Good Friday. A lot of us have expectations of people that we're in relationship with, and we set the bar really high. Some cases, we make it so that it's unattainable. You know, I'm only 5'9", and if my wife really wants a man that's 6 feet tall, that's a problem. I can't get there. But realistically, if everything that is a problem for her, or for that matter for you, is a direct result of something that maybe is missing in terms of trust, in terms of past relationships, in terms of letdown from other people, I may hit everything out the park, but yet in her mind or in their mind, their expectations of me are still higher. So I still come up short. So how do we fix that? Not to mention, we go into relationships and we often think that, this person's going to be the best person for me. They're going to do this, they're going to do that. Well, that's the honeymoon phase. And we all know that. We all know that when we start off a relationship, everybody's doing everything they can to make sure that the relationship gets off to a good start. Sorry, we pour into the other person everything we possibly can. And the irony is, oftentimes we accept some things or we say, it's okay. I'll let that slide because, that's not a deal breaker for me. But fast forward 3 months down the road, 6 months down the road, a year down the road, all of a sudden those things that were excusable now become the very irritants that drive us up a wall. But often it's not because they've changed, they've started doing things that we don't like. They were doing it all along. Our expectations of them changed. We raised the bar and we didn't tell them, we didn't communicate that with them. So you've got to be upfront. You've got to communicate with people and let them know that these are some must-haves. These are deal breakers. These are things that I really and truly desire in relationship. And then the flip side of that, you also got to say, these are things I don't want to put up with. These are things that I don't want to deal with. If you know you going into a relationship and you got issues, then don't date somebody that's very secretive. that doesn't open up to you, that doesn't talk to you, doesn't share with you, because you're setting yourself up for failure. Don't do it. And again, on the other side, not only do we set high expectations of the people that we're in relationships with, we often don't give them what they're expecting in return. Now, I know that there's a few folks out there that'll watch this video and say, okay, Ced, you're tripping today. But let's just be real about it. You go into a relationship, and every time we walk down the street, you hold my hand. And then all of a sudden, you stop holding my hand one day. I'm going to question why you're not holding my hand, because maybe my expectation was that you would have personal touch with me, again, referencing the Five Love Languages book, that I like to be touched. I like affection. And holding hands is one of those things that I enjoy. And then all of a sudden, you stop doing it. Well, guess what happens? You say, well, you're not doing this for me, so then why should I do this for you? And I don't know if you can see visually, but you've set higher expectations for the person that you're in relationship with, but yet you've lowered your responsibility in relationship and what they should expect from you. If you can balance that out, meet each other in the middle, and a lot of that has to do with communication. A lot of it has to be with being real about who you are and what troubles you. My wife and I have some very tough conversations because, I say all the time to her, how can I talk about forgiveness and relationships if I don't have that relationship with you that I'm projecting on social media, that I'm talking about when I do workshops? So oftentimes I have to sit down and say and be real about, look, here's my problem. Here's why that statement you made, or that way you looked at me, really tore me up inside. Now I get it. Most men aren't going to be like me, but I realize that the more I share that with my wife, number one, maybe I'm lowering her bar of expectations for me, and hopefully helping to rise her own expectations of what she gives back to me. So I know this is probably one of those we're gonna have to, as they say, take a couple of bites from the elephant over time. But just think about it. Are you expecting more from someone else than what you're giving them in return? Imagine if your man felt loved all the time and appreciated all the time. Imagine if your woman felt like she was the most beautiful thing in the world and no one took your attention away from her. Imagine if every single day we felt like we were in the relationship that we really and truly wanted to be in. Would we give more to that person? Would we feel that we'd be receiving more? A lot of times it's based on expectation. It's based on where in our minds we are in terms of expecting what others do for us. And often it's more about what we do for others and that's again another lesson I learned. We'll talk about that another day because I want to join the family. But it's not what you get, it's what you give that makes relationships work. So I'm gonna leave you with that today. I want to thank you guys for, again, all the support and all the love that you're showing. Thanks for sharing the videos. And again, if you enjoyed this and you believe it might bless someone else, share it on your timeline, share it as well. Once I put it up on YouTube, hopefully later today it'll be on YouTube. If you've missed any of these videos, they are all on YouTube. They're also on my website, and I really want to encourage you to go to my website. As the book is finalized, I'm going to create a way that you can even download an ebook that'll be separate from the new book, and you can get first dibs on the book when it is released. And so I'll need to get your email address and all that good stuff. So if you'll go to CedricNewbern.com, that's Cedric with no C's, CedrikNewbern.com. Check out my website. Let me know what you think about it. But make sure you register for, register for my newsletter. But you can also find the videos out there under the blog. And as well, you can read some of the blog posts that I've done over the last year. Again, thank you guys so much. It's my spring break, and so the wife's got a bunch of stuff planned for me and Matthew. So I am waiting. They're patiently waiting for me to wrap this up. So it's not that I don't love you. It's just that I love them, and I don't want them to have lower expectations of me today. I want to come through as the dad that I want to be today. So thank you. God bless you. And watch out for those April Fool's jokes out there, because there's plenty of fools out there trying to get us today. So be blessed. Thank you. And I love you guys. I'll talk to you next week.